A book review of My Years with General Motors by Alfred Sloan Jr. The review is by David E. McClendon Sr., a redneck with an MBA. And here's my little buddy, Redneck. Sloan was born the 23rd of May, 1875, and died the 17th of February, 1966. The book My Years with General Motors by Alfred Sloan Jr. is highly recommended as the one business book every aspiring business student should read. Management guru Peter Drucker speaks of it several times throughout his writings. Bill Gates told Fortune, "My Years with General Motors is probably the best book to read if you want to read only one book about business." This book really is not a how-to book. It's more a book about what Sloan and his contemporaries at General Motors did and why they did it. Sloan tells a little about the concept of centralized decentralization. This can be a hard-to-understand concept, but Sloan explains in detail how the concept came to be invented and why. Sloan also explains when and how General Motors moved away from decentralization, and when and how they moved towards decentralization. Somehow, he makes it all make sense. When General Motors first started out, the whole concept of a corporation that size was fairly new. Sloan and the executives working with him literally wrote the book on how a corporation works. They did not coin the phrase social responsibility, but they did help to invent the concept. National Cash Register was developing the concept at the same time. I would not suggest that this be the only book you read on business. However, I agree with Gates that if you could only read one business book, that this would be a great choice. Sloan does not use complicated terms to explain the concepts. In fact, many of the terms used today were not invented yet when Sloan began writing this book. Sloan had to treat his readers as if they were unfamiliar with management concepts. This is because so few people were familiar with these concepts at that time. My policy on book reviews is to give you my honest opinion of the book. From time to time, publishers will give me a copy of their book for free for the purpose of me reading the book and writing a review. The publishers understand when they give me the book that I am under no obligation to write a positive review. If you will look at all my reviews, you will see that there have been occasions when I have written a negative review after having been given a book. I often provide links to books on Amazon.com where you can purchase books and help support the continued operation of this blog. However, I strongly encourage you to check out your local library. Many libraries now offer electronic borrowing for free. I am disclosing this in accordance with the Federal Trade Commission 16 CFR Part 255. I purchased this book through Amazon.com. Suzanne Gunter McClendon has compiled some of her poetry into a new book called Shattered. David E. McClendon Sr., this old redneck, has a poem or two in there as well. Please search for Suzanne on Amazon and buy it in the Kindle format.